What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Overtime Heroics. I'm Mason Shatwell, and joining me today is Justin Guitar Hero Jaynes. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing real well, man. Just enjoying the beautiful weather out in Las Vegas.
Good stuff, man. I'm going to get straight into it. June 26th, you're fighting Charles Rosa. How's camp going?
So far, so good. Finally, I get a real full opportunity to do a full camp. With this amount of time I'm getting prepared, it's more than all my other fights combined. So really excited about that. Getting the weight in check, being able to put together a good game plan. I'm really excited for June 26th.
Interesting. How did this fight come about with Charles?
My manager just hit me up. I took on Devontae Smith on 3-4 day notice back in February after the fight. My manager just hit me up and says, "Hey, we have this opportunity. Charles is a good grappler. Do you want it?" And I said, "Hell yeah, let's go. 145, here we come."
100%. I want to go back to your last fight. As you said, it was on extremely short notice. Obviously, it ended up getting stopped due to your eye. What was the injury behind that, or was it just swelling caused by the fight?
Yeah, man. Honestly, when Devontae was on my back at one point, he hit me with a couple open-handed strikes, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" But he had a strategy behind it. But however it is, yeah, I had no serious injury. My orbital wasn't broken. It was just swollen, man. It was swollen for quite some time, actually. But all in a day, man. It's the fight game. That shit happens. I was bummed that it got stopped. I think it was a good stoppage. I didn't realize the damage to my eye until I was able to see it on the screen. But thought the referee did a good job. It was a good stoppage. But hey, on to the next, man.
How long did it keep you out of the gym for? Did you have to wait a while to let the swelling go down?
Probably the swelling went down in like 3 or 4 days, and I had a black eye for sure. I still think I have a little bit of a black eye, but again, all in a day, man. It didn't hold me out more than probably a week or so. But yeah, as soon as I got this opportunity, I was already in the gym prior, getting ready for my next fight.
Obviously, you train over at Extreme Couture. How is it training with those guys day in, day out?
Oh man, I've been at Extreme Couture since 2009. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to call that place home. As soon as I graduated college in 2012, I was able to move out here permanently. Prior to that, I did a couple internships at the gym. Being a coach there, and Extreme Couture is my home. My family's basically there, dude. Dennis Davis, Roman Isbell, Eric Nicksick. All these guys have been training with for over 10, some of them over 10 years. Ryan Couture, Randy Couture. It's unimaginable, or it's unbelievable, and it's just I couldn't be more happy with the place to train at.
With Extreme Couture, I think in the past couple of months it's it's known as a great gym already, but it's been highlighted by the fact, obviously, Francis Ngannou won the heavyweight title within the UFC. When someone on your team wins a fight, does it make the morale boost anymore? And especially with it being a title, does it make everyone else have an uplifting feeling within the gym?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. We're a pretty tight group at Extreme, so we're excited every time one of our guys or girls goes to war. We have a plethora of tons of talent, of male and female at all weight classes, man. When we see one of our teammates, win a championship, it's very exciting for all of us, and it gives us almost a boost. Like, hey, he did it, why can't I? We're training at the same place. We have the same coaching. It's just that's ultimately the end goal, of course, for all fighters is to win gold, especially in the UFC. So when you see your teammates do it, you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? When you're in the right gym, you're in the right place. You're on track to hopefully one day have an opportunity to achieve something like that.
I wanted to ask, what is Francis like in the gym? Because obviously, as we know, he's a killer in the cage. Well, it seems like he's quite calm and quite a normal guy on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super close with Francis. We don't talk, on the day, but in the gym, he's just really quiet. Very soft spoken for the most part. He gets in. He's always in the gym. He's always training. I see him at the UFC PI, running on the treadmill, doing his strength and conditioning circuit, usually next to me at Extreme Couture. Same thing. Really quiet, really humble, really, really, really nice guy.
I wanted to talk about Eric Nicksick. Obviously, as we mentioned, Francis winning the world title. It seems that he's played a big part in that. How great of a coach is Eric for Extreme Couture?
You know, Eric is not only a great coach, but he's a great person and a friend and a great boss in general. You know, you know, I said on a podcast, you know, prior to Francis's fight that I wasn't sure that, you know, if Francis could hang with the wrestling, you know, Stipe was going to impose on him. And, you know, I really regretted saying that, you know, even prior to the fight, because I should have known better. You know, for one, I shouldn't have said that publicly. And for two, you know, it's to have guys like Eric Nicksick always behind you grinding, knowing that the wrestling is going to impose, bringing the wrestlers in to put it on Francis to make sure he's ready. Eric is a step above most when it comes to coaches, and he's a step above most when it comes to people. And you know, he's keeping people accountable, and you know, he's making champions. You know, he has Dan Ige as well fighting Korean Zombie coming up too. What an incredible fight. So roll back to your question. Like I said, Eric is just an incredible coach, and he knows the game. You know, he's never fought before, and man, but the guy's studying film all the time. He's studying opponents all the time. He's learning from guys that have been there and done that. So Eric is an incredible coach and an incredible friend.
Would you say Extreme Couture is a close-knit group, and if so, is it important to have that sort of family feel within the gym?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of these guys are hanging out, you know, on the outside of the gym. You know, we beat each other up during the day, and you know, we hang out and play video games, and you know, go to the bar at night, man. It's a pretty close group in general.
I want to go back to your fight, which is coming up against Charles Rosa. How obviously we asked how's camp going, but how's weight coming off? Is your weight cut going okay so far for the fight?
Yeah, weight's coming off. You know, I'm hovering around 175 right now. I genuinely want to get down to about 160. So, you know, I still have 7 weeks. You know, and the UFC PI, Nicole and Clint and Levi, they're putting together a fantastic, you know, diet program. You know, for me to follow, make sure I have for training, make sure I'm losing the weight in the gym. I'm not worried about it. I've had 10 weeks. I'm a professional. I'm going to show up. I'm going to make weight. I'm going to knock Charles Rosa out.
I feel like I've got to ask, as I introduced you at the start of the show, Justin the Guitar Hero Jaynes, where did your nickname come from?
Man, it was just a stupid drunken night, you know, in college, man. Some guys, you know, I had a fight coming up, and we were drinking some beer in the dorm room, and they dared me to you know, come out strumming a guitar and label Guitar Hero as my name, and I said, all right, bet. So I showed up and I did it, and you know, it was like in 2012 or 2013, and you know, I never really heard about it after that. I did it a couple times actually, but about 2013 was probably the last time I did it. And then, you know, my UFC debut against Frank Camacho, Bruce Buffer's, you know, calling my name off. And, you know, when he asked us prior to the fight, he asked if I had a nickname. I said no. And then all of a sudden he's labeling me as the Guitar Hero. So, you know, it stuck, and the UFC got a hold of me after my debut and asked if I'd keep it. And I said, let's go. So Justin Guitar Hero is here in full swing.
I want to go back to when you first joined the UFC. How did it come about you getting the contract?
You know, Frank, you know, originally at the beginning of the week, you know, my manager hit me up and said, hey, Austin Hubbard was looking for a matchup and to be ready to go, just in case, you know, I was going to come through. Fortunately, or unfortunately for me, fortunately for a teammate of mine, you know, Max Rexkoff was able to step in and fill in. Then Wednesday, you know, Wednesday before Saturday, I'm going out with my girlfriend to go to dinner. Manager calls me up. He said, I think it's Matt Frivola, I think is his name. He's like, hey, something with COVID. He can't fight this weekend. Do you want to fight Frank Camacho? I said, bet. Showed up at the gym. I was like 175. I was like, all right, we got 20 pounds to go in 2 days. I planned on cutting weight all day Thursday, but unfortunately, you know, I had all my medicals I had to take care of. So I really wasn't able to get to the gym till about 7 p.m. Thursday night. Started cutting weight with Roman Isbell. We were there till about 3 o'clock in the morning. Woke up 6 in the morning, finished my weight cut, weighed in 156.0, showed up, and man, the rest is history, man.
How did it feel to get the win in your UFC debut?
Oh man, the feeling was nothing compares to it in the whole world. As of right now, it's the best feeling I've ever had in my life. And like I said, nothing even compares to it, dude. I was on cloud nine for weeks after that, thinking everything was a dream. But in reality, I've deserved to be in the UFC, and I've put the work in, and it was just a product of my hard work. And I've taken a couple losses here in a row now, but now with a full camp, you're going to be able to see the real Justin Jaynes.
I wanted to allude to that. Obviously, your past 3 fights haven't gone your way, but they have been short notice fights. Do you think now that you've got the chance to do a full camp, you're going to be able to show what you are about?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I like short notice fights because there's no pressure really. I shouldn't say pressure. There's no you just go and you fight. You just do what you do best. You do what you train to do every day. But again, there's no game planning. There's no strength conditioning circuit that that I've been implementing over the or for basically on a short notice fight. The whole concern the whole time, or however it's 3 days or 2 weeks, it's just getting your weight down. So fortunately now I can get my weight down. I can put together a game plan. My coaches can put together a game plan, and we can follow game plan and knock Charles Rosa out.
How did you begin? Well, at the very beginning, getting involved within the sport of MMA.
Well, I was in high school in 2007, and I was working in a gym called Steel City, and a guy named Andy McLaughlin came into the gym, and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing this MMA program." I was a high school wrestler at the time. He's like, "Hey, you should try to fight." And I was like, and I didn't really care to. And then after, keeping in my ear for a little while, he convinced me to take one fight. And I fought in front of 500 people, and I lost, and I was so embarrassed. And I was like, all right, well, I can't go 0-1 and then, quit. So I was able to get another one, and I won my second fight by decision. And I was hooked immediately, man. I started going to different gyms, trying to learn as much as I could and train. And next thing I know, I remember wanting to be a UFC fighter, man. And that's been the goal since, 2007. And, my goal was to be there by the time I was 25, but, shit happens. And although I'm 5 years late, I'm here, and I'm ready to beat some guys' asses.
As we know, you were a college wrestler. Do you believe that wrestling is the most important background you can have for MMA?
I mean, I'm biased because being a college wrestler, but yeah, I think it is the most important. I think it's the hardest as well. Wrestling is no joke, dude. It's getting there and getting that grind day in and day out. It's nothing to me is harder than a hard wrestling match. I think, that's, why I like the short notice fights, and, I take the fights as they come because my experience of wrestling, in a wrestling tournament, sometimes you'll wrestle 5 times, 6 times in a day. So, fighting multiple times on short notice is nothing for me. But again, it's nice to be able to have a game plan. Nice to be able to have a full training camp.
As we know, MMA is it's both physical and mental. Which one would you say is more important, to be mentally strong or physically strong going into a fight?
It's you need both of them, obviously, but being mentally tough is just incredible. Is much more important, I think. You find yourself in a deep hole in a fight. You're getting your ass beat in the first round, maybe halfway through the second round. Then you got to dig yourself out of that hole and be able to pull yourself out. There's nothing. It doesn't matter how good you are, how strong you are, how technical you are. If you can't find those spots to be able to pull yourself out of a hole when you're getting your ass whipped, you're not going to go very far in the sport. There's plenty of guys that are more technical than me, that are better than me, but they'll quit. And there's no quit in me. And I think that's my biggest attribute. It's not my size, my strength, my power. It's my no quit attitude. I don't give a fuck if I get my ass beat 5 times in a row. I'm showing back up at the gym on Monday, and we're getting back to the grind, and I'm getting better every day.
100%. Just a couple more things from me. What can fans expect from yourself come June 26th, now that you're going to have a full training camp?
They can expect the same old Justin Jaynes, just in shape and a little sharper is all. I'm coming in and I'm brawling. I'm knocking Charles Rosa out within 2.
And do you have any shout-outs or sponsors you want to give before we end?
Hey, shout out to Jake Shields, shout out to Dennis Davis, Roman Isbell for putting together my fight camp this year. Been training over with Fred Pichau. Shout out to Iridium Sports. Shout out to Self Equipment out in Oklahoma. Tractor equipment company that's been keeping me rolling. Shout out to Evolve. Shout out to Bump Box. Shout out to Nike Wrestling. Cypress Sun sunglasses. I mean, the list goes on. The amount of support that I get fight in and fight out is just unbelievable. And all these people that believe in me, I'm really excited to go in front of the world and really show what I can do.
And how can people find yourself on social media?
If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's Justin Jaynes MMA. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's JAY09MI on Instagram. And those would be the two best ways to follow, or Justin Jaynes on Facebook.
Well, Justin, it's been a pleasure, my friend, and I can't wait to see you come June 26th. Go get it, man.
Hey, thanks, Mason. I appreciate your time, man. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you, brother.